The rise and fall of Diego Maradona, the god who became human. In a small hospital room on the outskirts of Buenos Aires, a child is born into poverty. The mother clutches her newborn with trembling hands. The father, a factory worker, looks at the fragile boy and says softly, "Diego." The walls are cracked, the streets dusty, and the future uncertain. But inside this child burns a fire that would one day shake the world. Barefoot, Diego plays football on muddy streets using rags tied into a ball. He dribbles past boys twice his size, his eyes glowing with determination. Neighbors gather, whispering, "This boy isn't ordinary." At age 8, he's discovered by a local scout. By 10, his name echoes through the barrios. He plays as if the ball obeys him, as if God himself whispered secrets into his feet. But poverty doesn't leave. Hunger follows him home. His mother skips meals so her children can eat. Diego dreams not just of goals, but of escaping the walls of poverty. At 16, he debuts for Argentina's juniors. Stadiums rise when he touches the ball. Reporters call him a genius. He plays with the heart of the people, furious, joyful, desperate. By 21, Europe calls. Barcelona buys him for a record fee. He arrives in Spain with his head high and his soul fierce, but fame, power, and temptation wait like shadows. In Barcelona, he's both idol and target. The press follows every move. Injuries break his body. A brutal tackle fractures his ankle. He screams not from pain, but from rage. Then comes the violence, fights on the pitch, scandal off it. Drugs whisper his name. The boy from the slums begins to drown in luxury. In 1984, he moves to Napoli. A broken club, desperate fans, a forgotten city. But when Diego walks into the stadium, hope returns. He plays as if heaven opened, goals that defy physics, passes that bend destiny. Naples worships him not as a player but as a savior. Murals of Maradona cover the walls. Churches hang his portrait beside saints. The poor see in him their own redemption. For the first time, Diego feels loved, not by money, but by people who understand struggle. Mexico 1986, the World Cup. Argentina faces England, the nation that humiliated them in the Falklands War. Diego stands small among giants, but his heart is larger than the field itself. He scores 2 goals that define eternity. First, the hand of God. Second, the goal of the century. He runs from his half, dances through defenders, and scores. The commentator screams, "Maradona, Maradona." The world watches in disbelief. A poor boy from Villa Fiorito just defeated an empire. He lifts the World Cup, tears in his eyes. The world calls him a god, and gods, as history knows, are never allowed to be human for long. In Naples, he becomes untouchable. Money, fame, power, everything he once lacked, he now drowns in. But the higher he climbs, the thinner the air. Cocaine becomes his escape. Parties turn into rituals. The same city that worshipped him begins to whisper about scandal, mafia ties, hidden children, addiction. He smiles in public but trembles in private. The boy who played for joy now plays for survival. A failed drug test, arrest. The newspapers devour him, fans weep, sponsors flee. The god is mortal again. He flees Italy, runs from cameras, battles the shadows in his mind. Years blur into addiction and recovery. Every headline screams his name in shame. But in the silence, he still dreams of the ball, the one thing that never betrayed him. He tries to come back. Sevilla, Boca Juniors, his body heavy, his touch slower, but his soul still burns. Every pass is a message, "I'm still here." Fans forgive him. They don't see a fallen god. They see a man who fought his demons on the same field where he once danced with angels. Later, he becomes a coach. He travels to Cuba, to Dubai, to Mexico, wherever football still breathes. He teaches poor children how to dream, how to believe even when the world tells them no. He meets Fidel Castro, Pope Francis, world leaders, but always says the same thing. Football is the most beautiful lie. It makes poor men feel rich. His health fades. The drugs, the pressure, the chaos, it all returns to collect its debt. In 2020, his heart finally gives out. The world stops. Naples cries. Buenos Aires erupts in grief. Murals cover cities across continents. Millions march through the streets shouting his name. Diego Armando Maradona, dead at 60. But legends never truly die. Maradona was not perfect. He sinned, he lied, he fell. But he also rose again and again from dirt and pain until the world had to look up. He was the story of every poor child who dreamed of more. The saint and the sinner, the king and the rebel, the god and the man.